Hello everybody, how are you? It's Mike Andrew, once again providing a short video with practical insights as it applies to business and leadership. So today, again, in the theme of being practical, based on my observations and experience over the years, I want to talk about some fundamental things that I think drives a person's success, their career success. And let me tell you, and here's a hint, it's not about competencies. Competencies are a good thing, I guess, but I've never seen any correlation between someone with strong leadership competencies and their ability to succeed. Executive intelligence, EQ, yes, that's about professional maturity, executive maturity. But besides that, here's three things I think are really important, and I want to give a series of examples from different parts of life. Stepping up, hard work, and attitude. Stepping up, hard work, and attitude. Stepping up is step up when no one else will. When no one's ready to step up and take the lead, step up and take the lead. You'll be demonstrating leadership. Hard work, grit. That's the new phrase today, grit. There's a book I always refer to, you may have heard me mention it before in previous videos, that came out a number of years ago. It said, the title of the book is Talent is Overrated. Now that sounds crazy for someone like me to say that's in the talent business. But in a way, talent is overrated because you could have the best natural talent in the world, but if you don't work hard and you don't focus and persevere, it's useless. So it's really about hard work. And I gave examples in a previous video. You can go back and look at that. And attitude. To me, I'll take attitude over aptitude any day. I'll take attitude over competencies any day. Okay? Let me give you some examples of how stepping up, hard work, and attitude. I remember when I was in my MBA program too many years ago, and I was in one of those MBA programs where a lot was case study method, and a lot of your grade was active participation in class. I took a course called Operations Management, not one of my strong points, Operations Management. And 50% of the grade was how active you were participating in class, 50. So what do I think? Well, I can control that. I'm going to participate as much as I can. One day in class, the professor comes in with a magazine article, Business Week. He said, there's an article in here relevant to the things that we're talking about last week and this week. I'm looking for a volunteer to read the article, come in next week and just give a 5-minute overview. I raised my hand. Not many people raised their hand, but I raised mine. He gave it to me. I did my reading, gave a 5-minute overview that next week. About 2 weeks after that, he came in with another Business Week article. He said, I have another Business Week article here. Again, the topic is about this, and it's relevant to what we're talking about. I need a volunteer. Anyone want to volunteer and read it and give a 5-minute overview next week? This time I said, I'm going to give somebody else a chance. This is an MBA program. Nobody raised their hand. I couldn't believe it. Nobody would step up. Nobody raised their hand. So there goes my hand. I did it again. At the end of the course, I got an A. I got an A in a course that wasn't my strong point because I simply stepped up. It's as simple as that. In business, I was an advisor to a few boards in the recent past, and I was absolutely amazed at how many board members don't step up and how many board members step up naturally. And there were some board members, when they didn't step up, I would give them feedback. I remember 2 in particular. I had to give them, and one was the chairman, by the way. I gave them feedback. It was amazing how they stepped up after that, just from the feedback. And there were some that no matter what feedback you gave, their style was they weren't going to really bring a lot of value. I worked for a telecom company in the UAE, and we had an agreement with Telefonica, a major telecom company in Spain. And we had an agreement to share practices because we weren't competitors. Well, no one was stepping up in our function. So I simply volunteered, stepped up and said, here's what we'll do. And we had these conversations with that other telecom company, Telefonica, and we learned some things. We shared our practices, very, very valuable, but no one else would do it. All I had to do was very simply step up, something I controlled. Let me go to sports. I grew up outside of Boston where hockey was king when I was growing up. We all played ice hockey. I played ice hockey. And I remember coaching a young kid, and I also had a teammate, two different people, and they were the most brilliant skaters that you can imagine. Brilliant. This one young kid that I coached in high school, we had a practice session, and on the other team was the #1 rated hockey player in the whole state. And this kid on my team, he beat him in the skating drills. I couldn't believe it. He beat this, and he was a year younger. He beat him in a skating drill. And we had a guy on my team in high school who was a brilliant skater, incredibly hard slap shot. He could skate like the wind. But those two guys, they just didn't have that grit. They didn't have that hard work. They didn't do the hard things on the ice. They skated well, but they didn't play. They were very tentative when they were on the ice. They stayed away from the puck. And there were guys much less talented than them that ended up becoming better hockey players. There's a guy that played hockey for my hometown, Boston, the Boston Bruins. His name is Terry O'Reilly. One of the worst skaters I've seen as a professional hockey player, but his jersey is retired because he had grit. He worked hard. He had attitude. And as a result, he became one of the all-time favorites in the Boston area, so that his jersey is retired. So in summary, I want to talk about the significance of things that we can control for our success. Stepping up when no one else will. Hard work, because talent is overrated. And hard work with talent will get you places. But talent without hard work, forget it. And I associate hard work with grit. And I'll take attitude over aptitude any day. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.